Yo, wait, hold on. Wait, do the outro. I'm back. Hold on. Yo, what's good with y'all, man? Today, man, we back again with another video. And today we're gonna react to three Chuck E. Cheese horror stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep posting these bangers, like I said. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got nothing to say. Let's get straight to it. Y'all ready? Cause I know I'm ready. Let's go.
I'd been driving for 2 days on a cross-country road trip, only taking breaks to sleep and refuel. I was somewhere in the middle of nowhere when snowflakes started to fall on my windshield. By the time I made it to the next exit, the visibility was too poor to drive in. To my surprise, not far off the ramp, there was a Chuck E. Cheese, just sitting by itself in a parking lot with no other buildings around it.
Chuck E. Cheese.
It was nighttime, but the lights were
Bring
still
back
on.
memories.
The inside was just as barren and empty as the surroundings. It was dead quiet, dimly lit, and to my disappointment, very drafty. Only one other customer was there taking shelter with me. A nice-looking girl sitting by herself. She looked up at me as I entered, so I walked up to her table and tried to strike up conversation. Hey, bet you thought you'd never seen one of these places out here.
I sure didn't. Kind of pops up out of nowhere. But it's nice, isn't it?
I looked around and lied.
You trying to spit
Sure, it's
game.
pretty nice. It's better than black ice.
So, what are you doing in the middle of nowhere?
Going home for the holidays, seeing the folks and all that.
Oh, that's great. Me too. Hey, you want some pizza? I ordered a pie, but they do 16 inches. I can't finish all that.
Oh, don't worry, I'll help you. Right as I sat down across from her, the pizza came out. It was gone in minutes. I was already starting to like this girl. It's not every day you meet a girl you can peg out on mediocre pizza with. Afterwards, we decided to mess around in the arcade. The girl went to the bathroom as I walked up to the cashier. He was this old shriveled husk in a cheesy uniform. I held out some cash and asked, "Hey, can I get this in arcade coins?" The old man took the money, then said something completely out of the blue. "Your girlfriend's looking tastier than our pizza." Excuse me?
Whoa.
The cashier ignored me as he counted
Oh
the
man,
coins.
relax.
It was then that I noticed the mascot. The rat stood in a corner behind the counter,
Oh no.
motionless,
Is that
staring at
animatronic or
those
man?
empty black eyes. Now you two have fun. The cashier dumped a pile of coins into my hands. With that as a pass, I rushed away from the counter and did my best to forget about what the guy said. Unfortunately, that's when I saw how lame and defunct the arcade was. All the good games were out of order, and the only games left were the boring gimmicks that scam you out of your coins. But I'd already paid for the coins, so we decided to play anyway.
Good.
The best thing they had was this claw machine with stuff like iPods and Bluetooth speakers for prizes. Of course, I couldn't get a single thing to drop into the bucket. The whole time, I could feel the eyes of the rat mascot all over me as he stood in front. I started to get
I'm gonna edit that
frustrated,
out, but-
so I excused myself to the bathroom to calm down.
Okay.
I was only in there for a minute, but when I got out, the girl was gone. I looked
You
around
just
frantically,
left
but I
like
couldn't
that,
find
bro?
her. The claw machine we were using just a minute ago was now covered up with a curtain and had an out-of-order sign taped onto it. And that rat mascot was standing right beside it, still totally motionless and still incessantly staring. I hustled up to the cashier once more and asked, "Have you seen the girl I was with? She was just here." "She left, sir, and you have to leave too. We're closing now." "What? But we are closed! Leave so I can go home!" "But I literally just..." "Leave us alone! I'm calling the cops!" Okay. I looked back to the mascot at the claw machine one last time. Its eyes had been following me from the moment I stepped foot in the place.
There's someone in there, bro.
I had no
It's
problem
someone in
getting
that
away
mask.
from
It's
that
someone in the mask.
I headed for the
Mascot.
door, but when I got there, I stopped. I heard a noise, a thud, a rattling, and the faint echoing voice of a girl. I turned back to see the rat standing right in front of me. It was standing really close to me now, I could hear the person inside breathing heavily. I wanted to run past him and look for the source of the noise, but I had no idea how strong the guy inside the suit could have been. Reluctantly, I turned away and left the building into the falling powder outside. As soon as I left the building, the light shut off and I could no longer see anything inside. I made my way to my car to sleep until it was safe to drive again. Except, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stop thinking about that girl. Where did she go? I never even learned her name. To this day, I worry if I let something terrible happen right under my nose. Unfortunately, I don't even know where exactly I stopped that night. And without a name to give, there's not much help I can give to anyone who might be looking for her. It's a shame, really. She was very nice.
Where is she? Whoa. What the heck? Man, that was crazy.
I think it's safe to say that deciding to work at Chuck E. Cheese was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. I only did it because I thought it would be easy. I went there often as a kid, and the owners remembered me, so getting the job was a breeze. What I hadn't counted on was just how ugly the other side of the business turned out to be. And not just because the bathrooms and kitchen were in stark violation of health codes. The owner, who I once thought would be a gentle, caring old soul after so many years of working for children, was actually one of the nastiest, most inhospitable individuals you could possibly have for a boss. He was always breathing down the employees' necks and micromanaging them, constantly giving us new tasks. We were understaffed most days since it seemed that Chuck E. Cheese was a pretty undesirable job. I ended up doing just about everything I was told I needed to do, except cook. But out of all of us, the most overworked was the mascot guy, without a doubt. For so long, I never even saw the man beneath the costume. There was hardly ever a time that he wasn't in character and out on the floor with the children, except for a few minutes to prepare before his scheduled shows. One day, I got to see more than I bargained for. Just how strained he was. I was cleaning off a table that was right next to the stage. Chuck was performing at the time. I glanced up at the mascot for just a moment when I saw a single drop of blood dripping from the corner of the eye of the mask.
Whoa.
I couldn't believe it at first. I froze, watching the thin red line stream down the face of the children's icon. I think whoever it was beneath the mask felt my stare. He started acting strangely, diverging from the stage routine, tremoring. It was like my boss could sense the lost productivity. He stormed in from the kitchen and barked at me. "Get back to work!" When the mascot saw the owner, they retreated behind the curtain. The children wailed in confusion, sending the owner into a rage.
What is
He barreled
going
through a
on?
restricted door into backstage. I saw several parents getting upset, ready to fuss at some employees. I decided I wasn't going to be the one they screamed
You got the
at, so I
fresh
followed my
face.
order backstage
I
as
ain't not
quietly as I
recognize it. You got
could.
the fresh
I followed the
face.
sound of shouting to the mascot's
Fresh cut.
dressing room. The door was ajar. I crept up beside it and peered through the crack. The mascot was slumped in front of a mirror without his mask on. He was sobbing pitifully. When I got a look at his face, I was taken aback. He looked emaciated and deathly pale, as if he hadn't been outside in years. There were cuts and bruises all over his face, like he'd been beaten. "Please, boss, I can't do this anymore. Please, let me go." I could hear the thundering footsteps of the owner pacing around in the room. "Shut up, you wimp! God, you're such a baby! Why can't you handle a simple job?" "I'm trying. I just want to go home." Through the crack in the door, I could see the reflection of the mirror. The owner crept up behind the man in the costume and leaned in close to his ear. "Well, unless you'd like to find a replacement for the role of Chuck E. Cheese,
Oh,
there's
his face.
nobody else to take your place. That means you're going to stay here and keep the business afloat, okay? You can't go home. You must stay in character.
Can't go home.
Man, people don't want to work here that bad.
I'm out of here.
I can see why.
No. I'm
My
out of here. I'm not
curiosity
stopping
got
you
too
from leaving. I'm
intense for my own good. I crept forward just a little too far.
Oh.
And I bumped into the door. It creaked wide
Bro.
open and exposed me clear as day.
Get out of there,
Stood
bro.
embarrassed. Well, it looks like we found ourselves a new applicant for the position.
Bro,
of
nah,
Chuck E.
leave.
Cheese.
Nah, I'm out.
He says,
Actually, I was,
as he kicks the mascot over and steps on his stomach. The owner looks at me and says,
Oh my
"Shut
gosh.
the door, buddy. We need to have a talk." "You messed up, man. But thank you." The mascot whimpers from under the owner's foot. I think it's safe to say we can become a 24-hour franchise.
Bro,
boys.
get out of there. Get out of there. Oh my gosh. How did... Oh my gosh, man. Nah, man. He would have never called me
I
like
used
that,
to
bro.
love going to Chuck E. Cheese. My parents would take me there every Thursday night when I was younger. I
Okay,
can't
okay.
say that love remains since I've gotten older. It's all because of that one night. It began so perfectly. It was my birthday, so I got a huge allowance for arcade coins. The arcade was always my favorite part of Chuck E. Cheese. No grown-ups, no creepy mascot, just games as far as I could see. And so many tickets. I was racking up enough of them to go for the plastic gun and handcuffs on the top shelf behind the prize counter. I'd wanted it for so long, and I was finally going to get it. But as I ran around a corner looking for the next game to dump my coins into, I ran into an adult. "Oh, sorry, sir." "Watch out there, little buddy. I didn't mean to." "It's okay. I'm glad we bumped into each other. I want to introduce you to my son, Alex." I hadn't even noticed that there was a kid with him until then. He was so small and frail, compared to how pudgy his father was. He didn't even look related. "Go on. Say hello, Alex. I guess you're feeling a little shy today.
Bro, that looks
It's
a grown
okay.
man.
What's your name, son?" I'm Jimmy." "Well,
Jimmy,
that's great.
get out of there.
I think you
I gotta
and
go.
Alex
If
will
I was
become
Jimmy, I would have
good
said, I
friends.
gotta go. My
Why don't
mom's
you
calling
play some
me.
games together?" After that, the man just walked away, leaving his son with me without even giving me a moment to respond. I sure felt bad for the kid, but I didn't want him to take any of my tickets. We stood awkwardly for so long, it was unbearable. The kid's eyes were so empty, like he couldn't even see me. More than anything, I just wanted him to stop looking at me for one moment. Then, I noticed something hanging loosely from his wrist. A smartwatch. I wondered how a kid who looked so hungry could have something that expensive. It was the only thing I had for some conversation to break the silence. "Hey, that's a nice watch. How'd you get it?" "Oh, this? Did you want it? If you beat me at a game of skee-ball, I'll give it to you." "Really? You just let me have it? What a sucker." I thought. This kid had no
could be
idea how
scaring you,
good
bro.
I was at skee-ball. A smartwatch was a way better prize than a plastic gun, and I was bound to have both. Sure enough, I smoked him fair and square. It didn't
Just like
feel
that?
right, though. The kid didn't
Jeez.
seem like he was trying to put up a fight at all. He didn't even score a single ball. But he still gave me the smartwatch, so I didn't argue. He handed it to me without crying or anything, and as soon as I figured out how to put it on my wrist, he was gone.
No,
I
that's
didn't
a
see
tracker.
him or his father the rest of the night at Chuck E. Cheese.
Bro, that gotta
I
be
was
something. That's
confused,
a
but I forgot
tracker,
about
bro.
the whole thing
That's a
quickly.
tracker.
I got my prize and ate my pizza. Then I went home.
It's a
After
tracker.
I was supposed to be asleep, I was sitting up in my bed checking out all the features that came with my new toy. I spent a few hours just playing the games that were built into it. Then, at about 2 in the morning, a notification popped up. It read, "Your location services have been turned on."
See?
Right after that,
Told you it's a
another
tracker.
message from an app I didn't recognize. "Your location is now being tracked."
It's a
Suddenly,
tracker. I told
a pit
you.
formed in my
It's a
stomach.
tracker.
I started sweating, panicking. My heart was racing. I quickly made
Bro,
the decision to
shut
turn
it-
it off
okay, that's good,
completely
that's good.
and threw it away from
Just
myself.
throw it away. Just throw it away. Throw it outside, matter of
Several
fact.
eternal minutes of waiting in tense, breathless silence followed. I heard footsteps through the window. I jumped off my bed and hid behind it, staring into the night just outside. I got played on my birthday.
Bro, this gave me chills. That last part just gave me chills, bro. Nah, man, that last part just gave me chills. Hecky no, bro. Hex no, man. That's crazy, bro. Like, bro, I knew it was a tracker. I knew it. Come on, I knew it was a tracker. But I think that was the last video. I think that was the third video I watched. But don't forget I'm dropping another video, so don't worry. I'm gonna keep posting. I'm gonna keep dropping bangers. I'm gonna keep dropping them. I'm gonna keep that way so we can go up to the top. And make sure y'all like and subscribe so y'all don't miss the daily content and the uploads that I post for you guys. Like I said, peace. I'm out.